Hey, Divine Feminines. Alright, so I'm going to be devoting a lot of time to my twin flames, you guys, okay? So this is a period right now where we're going through an ascension, okay? So we need all the help that we can get, alright? So every Divine Feminine is on a different stage of their journey. I do encourage you to take what you need, leave what you don't need, and please use the spirit of discernment as you are viewing this video. If you are feeling triggered by anything that I say, again, face your mirror, not my comment section, okay? Now, if you are interested in any type of twin flame coaching, I do have Divine Feminine classes as well. You can visit my website, www.theoraclegoddessinc.com, okay? Now, I do free consultations, y'all, alright? So, definitely check that out. You can email me at theoraclegoddess01@gmail.com if you're looking for a free consultation. Also, one second. I have some books in stock. As you guys know, I wrote a book called Navigating the Heart alongside my twin. And this book is literally about understanding and overcoming emotional conflict. Okay, so now I'm thinking about starting a book club. So, and where we can go through this book, really learn ourselves together. Okay, so we're in this collectively. If you want to be a part of that book club, definitely email me. Okay, so we can get something started. Now, the book is available on Amazon, or you can order it directly from me. All right, so let's see what's going on. Ooh, miscarriage. That's deep. Somebody may have experienced a miscarriage, but I feel like this is deeper than the physical, you guys. Something you gave birth to or was pregnant with. It's like you were pregnant with it. You know how you get, like how actual miscarriage happens, and this is what happened. Like, you gotta be intentional with the seeds that you sow. Okay. Wow. And I gotta just take a step back myself, because like I said, I am Divine Feminine. I'm part of the collective, so we are all experiencing like experiences, right? Because we're going through this ascension process. But however, it says you are in a vulnerable state. Life shifted you from glee to gloom without caution. Your heart is shattered. You feel defeated. You are on the verge of a downward spiral. You are unsure where your flaws lie. You ask God for answers to questions that you do not believe there are answers for. Okay, so forgive yourself. I feel like some of you are at this point now where you could be forgiving yourself. You're trying to uplift yourself. You're trying to get all the rest that you need. Okay, and you believe with time comes endurance, and with endurance comes resolution. All right, so listen. Literally listen when Spirit speaks, and that's what has been taking place. Spirit has been speaking, and guess what? We haven't been listening. It says, you learn from your mistakes and don't project discouragement onto others. Although you are suffering, you see the light at the end of the tunnel. Here, you demonstrate resilience. Your flowers are due. Okay? You're birthing something new. And so, Divine Feminine, again, we have to be intentional with the seeds that we sow. Respect the hope that exists in them. Okay? Some of us have a lot of pent-up guilt and regret, and we're not sure. We're very unsure where to place it. We haven't been placing it anywhere. We've been pinning it up, right? We've been keeping it pent up within ourselves. And then when that moment hits, that trigger comes, boom, all of that comes out, okay? And then we end up projecting it onto other people. Our outward world, the 3D world, begins to show all of that pent up guilt and regret. It shows through the masculine as well. Your heart is fragile. Okay? And that's what we're here to do. Like, we're literally here to build ourselves up. And we have to be intentional about that too. All right? So when your mind is going back and forth and your ego is getting the best of you, then you need to start depositing positive affirmations, okay, back into you. You need to do things that will bring you back to a state of balance. No pity parties, no fury, none of that, because that only manifests, and you don't want that to manifest in your life. This is why, again, you have to be intentional about the seed that you sow. Okay, take care of yourself, right? It may feel like this is a setback, but you're being called to surrender. All right, surrender to the divine. Someone is definitely in a lot of pain. You got to face the pain. You have to heal that pain, okay? So our masculines literally trigger back to us our wounds. So don't get angry with your masculine, okay? Because they're only triggering back your wound. This is what their role is in your life, in your story. We always kind of get caught up in the 3D of our situations because, of course, when we met them, they were in our lives as lovers, relationships, friends, whatever. Okay? So it's hard to separate that from the spiritual realm, or the 5D of what the relationship and the dynamic is for twin flames. All right, so there's still work to be done. 8 of Pentacles, right? And I see that's what you're doing, and that's what Spirit is pushing all of us to master self. Okay, so it takes time, it takes determination, it takes focus, it takes skill. Look, it takes a lot. And so when you signed up and said, hey, I accept the call, I want to take on that divine feminine role, right? Because as divine feminines, we're here to literally master self so that we can help others to master self. It's not about you helping your masculine to master themselves. When you do the work on you, you tend to your own soul, guess what? It's being mirrored back to the masculine. You healing yourself, you loving yourself, you tending to your world gets reflected back to your masculine and also your outer world, because guess what? Your inner world is balanced. And so now your outer world can reflect that, and then you're in harmony, okay, with the 3D and the 5D, right? You're operating in duality, and now guess what? You're manifesting. You're manifesting what it is that you've been asking the divine for. You're manifesting those answers to the questions that you may deem that's not something that could be answered. And so if you are now in some type of disharmony or disconnect, or not working well with your divine counterpart, I need you to get out of this state of contemplating. I need you to get out of this state of focusing on the past, right? Because the universe has a new blessing. And if all you see is the pain, the grief, the guilt, especially what your masculine has done, if that's all you see them as, that's all you're going to keep manifesting. And so we are changing, and we are forming a whole new identity for ourselves, and we cannot identify with that past pain no more, okay? And you see this cup again, and you see what this girl has in her hand. A whole new flower. This is a 911, y'all. Be intentional about the seeds that you plant, divine feminine. All right? So again, like I said, I love you guys. I'm only here to help you evolve. And trust me, I go through these same experiences as you, the same feelings, the same pain, right? But I'm learning through the journey, and I'm allowing myself to learn. Yes, sometimes we can get into an energy of being very stubborn and in our egos. It happens, okay? Go through whatever you got to go through, then pull yourself back, all right? The divine got you. Ask Spirit for help. You don't got to do this alone. Peace.